And now I'm going to look at the other two things from my friend. So we have a Philips SkyMaster 4, which I'm assuming is better than the SkyMaster 1, 2 and 3, and a Fire Game & Watch, which is pretty cool. I'm hoping I can do these in one video. I'm guessing the problem with this, I think he said it runs funny, it runs slow, and the speed isn't consistent, so it's probably a belt problem with this, which shouldn't take too long to sort out. Famous last words. And this one, I think he said it doesn't power on at all. It's missing its battery connector at the back, but I can just, hold the batteries in, I guess. So fingers crossed I can do both of these in this one video. So let's start with the SkyMaster 4000. That's what it should have been called anyway. Okay, so let's pop some batteries in. Looks like it takes 3 AA's. Yes, it does. There's a tiny bit of rust on those contacts, but I think that'll be fine. Okay, so let's pop a tape in. And what better way to test it than with Dr. Jones by Aqua? And I have my trusty Bose SoundLink, which is the first thing I ever bought. It's my first ever video. And the amount of grief I get on that video of people saying, there's nothing wrong with it. All it needed was a new power supply. I didn't know that when I bought it. Not my problem. Okay. Aux. Play. It's doing nothing. It does nothing, which I'm pretty sure is not what he said the problem was. Well, that's weird. It plays that way round, but not that way round. What's going on? Now it's playing. That's odd. It's making a lot of noise. Actually sounds better like that, I think. But yeah, it's obviously not supposed to sound like that. So it's playing too fast, and it's making a hell of noise. But it does seem to be quite consistent. It doesn't seem to be like going up and down. Oh, I hope I don't get copyrighted for this because it's such a good song. I need to leave it in. Right, well, there's obviously something going wrong, so let's take it apart and let's see if we can see what's going on. Alright, just while I'm unscrewing these, I just want to say a big thank you to my first top tier Holy Hand Grenade Patreon, and that is Ty M. So massive thanks to you, Ty M, and all my other patrons. Patrons, whatever they are. Thank you. It just clipped in there. Well, I obviously don't want to break it because it isn't mine. There we go. I broke it. I didn't break it, by the way. Well, that belt seems quite loose. Well, that is going to make it play fast, I would have thought. I'm guessing it's got a potentiometer somewhere where you can adjust the speed of it. Let's see if we can pop the batteries back in and just see what it's... see if we can see anything abnormal. Ah, there's 2 belts by the looks of it. So yeah, we've got another belt here. Right, let's take this board out if we can. This is quite simple compared to... I looked at a Sony WMF65, I think it was, last year, and I couldn't fix it. It was, there was a lot going on. There was a load of wires all over the shop. This one, by comparison, is quite simple. Well, those belts, they actually look alright. Right, well, it's stopped working again now. Something's not right with the power connection, I don't think. Let's see what voltage we've got. Let's put it on DC. Right, so the voltage goes through this adapter jack here, and then it goes to here, and then it jumps over to there. It goes to there. And where does it go? Well, it appears to stop there. So look at the other side of the board. So there. Ah, okay. Right. So it's that needs to make the yeah. Okay. I worked it out. I think that's the first time I've ever worked anything out. It's a proud day, Stephen. Proud day. So this must. Where does this sit on the board? Right. So yeah, of course. So it sits underneath the play button, and the play button pushes this down, which is what makes it play. Quite simple, really. Okay. So there's nothing wrong with the power side of things. This belt is loose. It's not. I'm not sure it's the right size. I'm wondering whether my friend replaced it. Yeah, it doesn't appear to be the right one, that to me. I'll see what other belts I've got. Right, so there's some belts. Let's have a look, see if we've got one that looks similar, but probably slightly shorter. How about that one? Let's try it. Right, let's see if we can pop Dr. Jones back in. Not sure this is going to work with it all open and exposed like this. It might do. Right. I mean, that actually sounded better. But still, it's obviously too fast. So where is the potentiometer going to be on this? If indeed it actually has one. So the resistance for the motor. Well, the motor is here. Yeah, I don't think it's got one. Does it have any resistors? So we've got a resistor here which looks like it's in line with the positive to the motor here. So I'm just going to check to see what that's reading. So it's reading 1 ohm. That's the only resistor I can see that's actually in line with the power to the motor. So from what I can see, this wheel here is just connected directly to this one here, which drives the spindle. I think it's called that turns the tape round. There's nothing in between to sort of reduce the speed of that, and I can't see how changing that belt is going to make any difference. But it is loose. Might be worth a try. So that belt is slightly smaller than the other one. Let's try that one. I know it looks a lot smaller, but I think it will probably give it a bit more tension. Okay, let's try that. Baby, I am missing you, and I hope you miss me too. I think about you every day. Still too fast, isn't it? Right, I'm just going to try and take the motor off here and just see if there's a potentiometer on the motor. I mean, it's possible. I haven't. Normally on Sony Walkmans, the potentiometer is on the board. I just wonder whether it might be on the motor on this. Well, it doesn't look like it. Right, I think I'm going to remove the resistor that's here, and I'm going to see if I change the value of that resistor, whether the speed changes. I don't know whether that will work, but I figure it's worth a go because I don't know what else to do. Right, that's that resistor out. Let's just measure that now. So it's only 1 ohm. Right, let's try it without any resistor. Right, if anything, that sounds too slow now. Yeah, so it's too slow now. So it's too slow without a 1 ohm resistor, but with a 1 ohm resistor, it's too fast. I wonder if I can just get a potentiometer and put it in place of that resistor. Or do I need something lower value? Let's see what I've got. Right, I've got this old laser assembly of a Discman. I wonder whether I can use the potentiometer off it. I don't know whether that's going to work, but it's also got some little resistors in here as well, which I might be able to reuse. Let me just see if I can remember how to measure the potentiometer. So it's in kiloohms, isn't it? I'm not going to get anything close to... I wonder what the lowest value is on this. Those are 0 ohm resistors, but they're measuring sort of 0.1. Oh, I don't think it would make any difference, but it might just bring it down slightly. What the hell? This is scrap anyway. Let's try and take one of those off and see if we can put it on here and just see what difference it makes, just for fun. There we go, that's it off. Right, that's where the resistor was. Is this going to be... Yeah, this is ridiculously small, isn't it? I'm going to see if I can do it on the one above it, because they're connected to the same points. If I can just get some solder across there. I'm not sure I'm going to be able to do this, but I'll give it a go. I just kind of pulled it in a little bit more than I would have liked. Well, that kind of worked. Well, it's on and it's connected, so let's see if that's made any difference. It'll probably be too slow now, but we'll see. Right, what do we reckon? Too fast? Too slow? Let's find out. Alright, I don't know, I think it's too slow now. Right, so it's too slow with the 0 ohm resistor, and it's too fast with the 1 ohm resistor. So, I mean, I could be completely wrong here, but if I put two 1 ohm resistors in parallel, does that give me a half an ohm? And then that would be somewhere in between the two. Is that right? I'm going to see if I can find another 1 ohm resistor anyway and see what it does. Don't forget, I'm a noob. I don't really know what I'm doing. I'm just making it up as I go along, so bear with me. Right, I've got some 0603 1 ohm resistors. Now these are teeny tiny. I think the one that I put on there could have been a 12, or it could have even been an 0805. So I'm not sure I'm going to be able to get these on here, but in theory, if I run two of these across here, I should get half an ohm? Question mark? Yeah, they're even smaller. I don't think I'm going to be able to do this. Do you know what? I'm going to try. Nothing ventured, nothing gained. Wow. Approximately 4 days later. Right, well, I'm pretty sure you will have come here from an approximately 4 days later or something similar, because that took me quite a while. Well, it took me about 5 minutes. It felt like 4 days. Now, I don't even know if it's right. So let's just see what resistance we're getting across here now. Yeah, 0.5. Okay. So does that mean that worked? Well, let's see. Let's see what the speed's like, I suppose. Let's see what we get now. Well, I think that's about right. The problem is I can't play this because I'm going to get copyrighted, aren't I? Baby, I am missing you, and I hope you miss me too. I think about you every day. It's not much blah 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 blah. I think it's working. It's definitely better than it was when it had the 1 ohm resistor in, and it's definitely better than it was when it had the 0 ohm resistor in. I'm tempted now just to put it back together and see what it plays like when it's fully together, because obviously that'll be the proper test, won't it? I might have to get another tape with something that isn't Dr. Jones on. I know that's going to upset everyone because I'm pretty sure you will have all been enjoying the little bit of Dr. Jones there, but I just don't want to get copyright strike. And if I am going to get a copyright strike, it's not going to be off Dr. Jones. It's going to be off, like, I don't know, Barbie Girl or something. That'd be worth it, right? Oh, what the hell. Let's just see what happens. So I'm going to call that one fixed. SkyMASTER 4000, you are fixed. You are upside down. You are fixed. Right, let's move on to the game and watch. Fire! Da-da-da! Okay, so we've got 2 batteries here. Let's pop these in. I actually borrowed a back off my Donkey Kong 2, which isn't quite the right fit. Oh! Ah. So we do have some characters on the screen, but it ain't doing anything. What could that be? Well, let's take it apart and have a look, shall we? So we've got 6 screws on the back. These are those weird screws that, you know, they've got like a hole in the middle, but you can just use a flathead. Okay. And already the speaker wire has snapped. Is that... Okay, I'm guessing that's one end of the speaker wire. That's the other. So we were never going to get any sound out of this, because I didn't do that. It's got a crystal. It's got 2 capacitors. It's got a diode. It's got a resistor. And it's got a chip, which isn't a blob chip. Now that is nice to see. We've got another capacitor here and whatever this green thing is. Right, well, it's not going to not turn on just because the speaker wires are broken. But that would suggest to me that this has been apart before. Now, I don't know much about the background of this. I don't know much, but I know I love you. And that may be all there is to know. Forgotten what I was going to say because I started singing for some bizarre reason. Yeah, I think this has definitely been apart before. I can see debris which looks like it's under the screen. Well, nothing's jumping out at me. Right, I don't think it's a problem with the battery contacts. But now let's just see if we've got, well, 3.2. It should be, shouldn't it? Yeah, okay. So what's going to be the problem with this? Do we think it's another crystal? Could it be the crystal again? Well, that looks like a frequency. 32.7 kilohertz. Does that sound right? I think it does. I kind of want to know if this is making any noise, so I am going to solder these speaker wires back on, because I remember on the Skate or Die one, when I was messing around with the crystal, there was a bit of noise that came through on the speakers. I spend the next 30 minutes or so just checking over this board, checking continuity, looking at the tracks, making sure we don't have any broken traces. Can't see anything, so obviously let out the odd expletive. You know, fairly standard stuff. Right, already I'm worried. I don't think I'm going to be able to do anything with this. I might just swap out that crystal. It's probably also worth checking this capacitor. Right, so that is a, what is it, 16 volt, 10 microfarad. Okay, 10 microfarad. I'm not entirely sure what this green thing is, so I'm going to take it off and see if I can get a reading on it in my component tester. Right, so let's pop it in here and see if this thing knows what it is. It's a capacitor, apparently. 320.6 nanofarad. It's an odd looking capacitor, that. Yeah, maybe it is a capacitor. But the readings on it, what does it say? 33/35. Well, it wasn't coming up as faulty, was it, in there? It wasn't coming up as a damaged part, so again, do I just assume that that's okay? I'm just looking at this diode, and I assume it's a diode. It looks like one. And I'm getting a reading that way, 2.4, and then swap the leads around, I'm getting a reading that way, 0.6. That doesn't seem right to me. I'm going to take it out and just see if it reads the same out of the board. Right, let's see what it measures while it's out of circuit. 0.6. So then the other way should be open. Which it is. Okay, so I think that is fine. Right, so it's not that. Right, I'm going to take the crystal off because I'm running out of ideas now. What was it reading? 32. Let's see what we've got in here. Well, they look the same. There's nothing written on these. How am I supposed to know? Let's try one of these. Right, let's solder it in and see what happens. Right, well, it's got a new crystal in. Everything else seems to be okay. Let's see if it does anything different. If not, then I suspect we're just going to have to give up, because I have no idea what to do if that chip is faulty. Well, it's making noise. Can't really see anything on the screen. You see anything on the screen? Yeah, a little bit. Game A. It's almost like it is starting. Interesting. At this point, I'm convinced it's the screen. So I spend a ridiculous amount of time cleaning it, cleaning the zebra connectors, swapping the zebra connectors over, looking up zebras on the internet, which is not advisable because you just get the animal. And, you know, generally just swearing a lot. Right, so sadly, I can't fix this one. The screen, I think, is damaged on it. I don't think the crystal had anything to do with it. I think the speaker had been disconnected because somebody had been in it before. hence why my friend thought that it wasn't working, but it is actually working. You can hear the game playing. You just can't see it because I think the screen is damaged. Such a shame. If I had another screen, you know, if I had another working one, I could swap the screen over and sort of prove the fault, but I don't. I'm just going off what I've seen. So I'm going to have to leave it, unfortunately. Big fat fail. Baby, I am missing you. And I hope you miss me too. I think about you every day. And not much blah 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 blah.